like in the beginning, I felt like I could still engage with my audience. I could monitor the comment section, make sure everything is like kosher, fine.
Yep.
And then after the quarantine and my channel blowing up, that's when it became like, okay, this is no longer in like I can't control this anymore. It's its own beast. The only thing I could do is just control like myself and what I put out there.
Yeah.
So I kind of had to like step away from being so involved with everything.
Yeah.
Like the comments and all that, which was kind of a bummer because I really liked that part.
Yeah.
It's like your community. I want to engage and stuff, but I had to like step back.
I mean, when there's so many too,
So
you're like,
many.
I'm only one person. I can,
Yeah.
And you're working so hard on your content because that's the thing. That's the other, I can imagine the type of work that goes into every single episode.
Yeah.
Because even when you listen to a murder podcast, they always have like the credits at the end and there's multiple researchers, different editors. Like you want to get it right. And I'm sure for you, you're doing a lot of that work, right? And now you probably have people who help you. But at the time when you were doing it, it was probably just you.
Oh, me, myself, and I.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, and I was just kind of guessing.
Yeah.
I was trying my best, you know, but I would try and just find as much information as I could about whatever story I was talking about.
Yeah.
And then I learned that, I could get like court files. So then I figured out how to do that. And then once I got court files, I was like, oh, cool. So I'd spend time like reading all those and then building the story off of that. But like I was doing it week after week after week that I was like, okay, this is not realistic. But I think I did that for years. Wow. And then finally I was like, okay, I'll get some help. Fine. Yeah. Like I didn't want to.
Yeah, of course. It's your baby. It's your thing. You're like, but will they do it how I do it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like I wanted to just make sure that what I was doing was factual. You know, I didn't want people to come in and like just give me like stuff from Wikipedia or like stuff that they saw.
Which would be me.
Yeah, right?
like, okay, it says it on
right? It says on Wikipedia, so it must be true. But like, so I made sure like now I've gotten to a place where I have like researchers who help me and they actually like, they get factual information.
Yeah,
like,
they're digging.
Exactly. And then I have a writer who helps me, kind of like helps me put the story together. And then I go through and then I Baileyfy it essentially where I make it like, what am I going to say?
Yeah.
And then I have legal to make sure like they go through and make sure that, hey, like maybe don't say that.
Yeah, it's like a little too.
Yeah, like maybe don't say this, maybe don't. And that's nice because it's extra protection.
Of course.
So it's nice to have like this help, the legal backing. And I know like I'm not just putting up crap that is like all lies. Do I get it perfect every time? No, of course not. Like I'm trying my best though.
But there's integrity there.
Yeah.
The point is like you're like, I'm not just sitting down and talking, which I think is like, you don't know, people watching it, like you are so fun and just conversational. But the point is like, no, you are doing a ton of work behind it.
Ton of work.
Yeah, to get to that point where you can just sit down.
Yeah. For like one murder mystery, I mean, it's a solid week of just like the research, the writing, the finalizing, the legal, the filming, and then the editing takes a whole nother situation.
Gosh,
but yeah, a lot of work goes into it.
Yeah.
And I truly enjoy it. I'm such a curious person. So like, it's like that itch that just gets scratched every week.
Yep. I mean, I am a murder podcast gal, like even to the point where we started this podcast, I was like, I've never listened to another podcast except for a murder podcast.
Right?
Like I actually don't even know what other podcasts sound like. Yeah. I should probably do that.
Yeah.
It's just me like telling a story. I just start telling murder stories too. And I'm like, I'm going to channel Bailey. Yeah. but no, I mean, I think it is something I would feel the same way. Because even when I listen to an episode, I'm on a flight or driving or whatever, at the end of it, I'm like I'm ready for the next one. So probably with you get to like start with one story and you're just going through the ones.
Well, my issue when I was listening to true crime podcasts, before I started my murder mystery situation, was like they were always so depressing. And I get it, like they're really dark stories and they shouldn't be happy. I get that.
But the vibe.
Yeah. To where like afterwards, I almost felt just really bad.
Drained.
It was heavy. Yes. So like I want to learn about these, but I don't want to be carrying it around with me all day.
Yeah.
So I felt like my whole approach was like, okay, yes, this is dark, but like make it conversational and not so heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not for everyone and that's okay, but it's for the people who like want to learn and but don't want to have that heaviness.
Yeah, you have to be able to find your niche within this space because some podcasts have not been for me because I'm like, it's too, it actually like makes me feel bad. Like you're, like you said, you're walking away. So yes, that's what I love about what you do is because I do think it's like, you're telling the story factually correct, and you're like keeping people with you, but where you don't walk away being like, I cannot do that again. They're like, it's like, oh, okay, like it was a cathartic, or it's, you're leaving more informed, or like you do. I mean, that's why you've been so successful at it. You're the perfect personality for it, truly.
Thanks.
Like you're such a great storyteller, but you're really informed. So that's in my head. I'm like, I want people to know how much work goes into those things, because it's not just like a casual thing. It's not like, hey, I found this story. All right, let's sit down. I'm going to look up a quick article and then sit down and talk. Yeah. It's like, no, there are hours and days that go into these episodes. Yeah, they're so fun.
And if I could spend more time, I totally would. I'm such a perfectionist too.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Are you hitting